All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house starts blessing y'all day. By His mercies you want to consume. We're alive in Most High in your house, His body. And two, we're naturally alive, man. And I want to get into this, man, because because you know what's crazy? I'm rewatching, like, I was just thinking about this yesterday at my second job. I'm rewatching, like, The Sopranos, man. And I'm just thinking, man, this all goes into being one in the kingdom. One, the kingdom within, and, like, in the physical kingdom, man. We're going to get into this, how, like, but I'm rewatching The Sopranos and let's finish up season one. But if y'all that watch The Sopranos, or, because this is my first time rewatching, like, in its entirety. I've seen bits of it before episodes, but they not from the front to start, like, beginning to end. But those that know that Tony Soprano originally, like, wasn't, the boss. What's his name? Junior, his friend that was on his deathbed, he pretty much his best friend passes off to him. So, and it's similar to, like, and I was just thinking about Alexander the Greek or Alexander the Freak in Maccabees, which we're about to get, and that's how he did his kingdom. It was split up, but now, we're gonna see that contrary to, like, the Most High house shot, like, and how the kingdom really is supposed to be. Now, don't get it twisted. Yes, did our kingdom split? But yes, that wasn't intent. But see, that's where Satan crept in and pride. But we're gonna get into that though, man. But as far as Jeroboam, but we just gonna get into that though, man. But let's get it, since we mentioned it in First Maccabees chapter 1. Let's grab this First Maccabees chapter 1 real quick, man. Because in those that he's similar to what's going, and that was very common in the ancient world, kings being on the deathbed, or like passing off to their right to their son, or either or their or their friend, or their best friend, the right hand man, like, so. But anyway, man, but yeah, let's get First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 9. It says, yeah, and also too, this is this is how this is Satan's kingdom as well. Like, this is the kingdom of the serpent. And, like, Alexander the Great was of the Edom, of course, Esau, Edom, man. So, Edom will be the line of the son perdition, man. And, like, and it's like, that's just more importantly, honestly, what it is. But yeah, man, the ones pretty much is despised the birth. Well, come on, girl, relax. Come on, girl. No, not now, no. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. So let's get First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 7. It says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one of his place." So yeah, so he split up his kingdom and gave it to his servants. And after his death, they put all crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So yeah, in Job 9:24, that says the earth to give hand to the wicked and, like, evil. So being multiplied. And there's nothing new under the sun, man, because you got the rules and stuff like that of Edom now, and, like, and we seen the evil that Yahushua and the word prophesied was going on, though, was going to happen, though. But yeah, man, this is really much all the serpent, pretty much, honestly, more deeper than that, than the natural, or the sense, on the spiritual sense, man. It's all of the serpent, man. Yeah, but it says, and after his upon his death, they put on crowns upon themselves, and they and then many years their evils will multiply in the earth. So yeah, so let's grab this in First Kings 1:30 though, man, because here's where Solomon is crowned king. Yeah, First Kings chapter 1 verse 30. It says, it says, and this is the same thing. David on his deathbed, about to die, but he gives it to Solomon. But yeah, let's get First Kings chapter 1 verse 30. It says, "And even as I swore unto thee by the Lord, the God of Israel, assure Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon thy throne in my stead. So I will certainly do this day." So see, notice how in this kingdom was just supposed to be one. This kingdom wasn't divided. Like, but no, I should get that now. I might save that till later, but I might get I'll get it now. Then we'll go back to it. But but notice that, but even honestly, the kingdom really started. Was really going to split, because when David, like, his adultery, then Solomon's spiritual adultery, but then of course that's how really it happened. Then of course Jeroboam And actually, no, Solomon spiritual adultery that that kind of got it. But David, what he did was kind of the root of that. The kingdoms being split, but this kingdom was supposed to be a one. So that's why, like, no, let's go to Matthew real quick, man, because it's all about being one. And like and within the kingdom, like the inward kingdom and the physical kingdom. More importantly, the inward kingdom, man, it's supposed to be with one with the Most High Yahweh. That's why First John says that. But let's get Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. It says, if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? So see, yeah, because that's that's the kingdom now is of the kingdom was of division, like the southern kingdom, northern kingdom, but with Yahushua is coming back to be one. But now he's coming back also too, like with the gospel, the testimony, the witness, to be one again, like back in the garden. Because that's why in Galatians 3:28, what we about to get, all are one. Because then we're gonna get it in Genesis real quick. Yeah, man. So that's why it says no schisms in the body, man. So we're gonna look at this, man. Let's go to Galatians real quick, man. Because notice how the pretty much in pretty much how that's pretty much because Esau's pretty much was Satan's seed and the serpent seed and the Most High Yahushua seed, man, and was pretty much like Adam, man, like that's why the second Adam, like all like we're gonna get into it, man. But this is all doing the kingdom being of one. It's all about being one on one accord with the Most High Yahushua being one. Yeah. Yeah, let's grab Genesis chapter 3, verse 28. It says, no, let's go to 1 Corinthians real quick. Now, because it's going to transition better with that. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 25. It says that there should be no schisms in the body, being that members should have the same care for one for another. Yeah, being one. Of course, we're going to of course that happens. Like like Yahushua said, what? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what he said. But yeah, man, all that. No, let's just look at that real quick. Hold on. Offense, I'm tripping. Yeah, offenses will come and all that stuff, and so situations are going to happen, circumstances in the word and out the word, but really, we still should be one, man. That's what I'm tripping. But it says, it says Galatians chapter 3 and verse. Let's read that Corinthians again. It says, there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another. Yeah, it's just like shout out to brother Mike Morales for pointing this out, man. It's like Voltron, man. But notice on the top of Voltron, right? It's like what's the head of it? The black lion, and we know Genesis 49, Revelation 5, Jeremiah. Who's the lion? Yahushua, man. Like ironically enough, it's a so-called black. It's a black lion, so we already know that, of course. But yeah. But let's get this Galatians chapter 3 and verse 28. It says, there is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye are all in Christ Yahushua, or Mashiach Yahushua. Yeah, exactly. So what does this go back to? Go back to the law. It goes back to the beginning because he tells the end from the beginning. Let's get this Genesis chapter 1 real quick. Shout out to the brothers sent me first one for pointing this out. But see, this is all about being one. How the kingdom is supposed to be one. The inward kingdom is supposed to be one. Then the physical kingdom is going to be one. Let's get Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. It says, okay. Yeah, Genesis 1:27. Yeah, actually says, so he created man in his own image, the image of Yahweh. He created he him, male and female. He created them. So yeah, see, this was good. That's going back into now over because it's the first Adam. So now the second. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, so the second Adam is going to, this is the same way, going to be all together. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So Yahweh created, and this goes into being his image again, like we always talk about, in his own image. The image of Yahweh, he created he, him, male and female, he created he, them. So yeah. So of course, man, like, of course we mentioned in, like, saw David, what he did with the physical adultery kind of led to that. But which kind of is spiritual adultery as well, because it goes into covetousness, and that's what the son of David talked about, like, was the end within defile, like, a man. So that's kind of happened. But I'm not going to put that on David, because honestly, like DMX said, he says the difference between doing wrong and being wrong. And David just did wrong. He wasn't, like, wrong. It was inwardly, he still has integrity. He still was a faithful and just righteous man, honestly, man. So yeah, and that's another story with David, and he lived out his judgment. So because people think David, that's neither here nor there. But also too, Solomon with spiritual adultery as well, and this all going to the kingdom being split. But but only through Yahushua to bring it together. Not only just the physical, the southern and northern kingdom back together, like those two branches, but physically, no, but spiritually, man. Is going back to being sons and daughters of the Most High Yahushua, by being one, going back to the garden, man, being sons of God, pretty much, sons and daughters of God, man, pretty much, and that being one, going back to the beginning. But that's how they're masterminds. But yeah, man, so that's what it is too. Yeah, because yeah, let's grab this Matthew chapter 4 verse 8, because we're gonna touch on it now, because this was another video from another day. But because notice what it said though in Matthew 4, because it's crazy days are fourth, but Matthew chapter 4 verse 8. Notice what it says though. Yeah, exactly. In verse chapter Matthew chapter 4 verse 8, it says, again, the devil taketh him up again into the exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. So see, but notice this, right? Because not only this is what Yahushua, like, one, he steadfast to the word, like, because and that's why Esau, speaking of Esau, he had no excuse me, because Yahushua was in a way more worse, like, estate than Esau was, because he's coming up fasted and fasted, like, 40 days and 40 nights, man. He's at his weakest, man, but he still hold fast to word. That goes back to that Job 23 and 12, like he desired word, the necessary food, and Romans 8:35 and 8:35, nothing shall separate you from the love of the Most High Yahushua. But that aside, notice how he did steadfast to word. Also too, with that, he didn't give up the kingdom that was already promised to him. But also too, just like David already had the kingdom before he became king, Yahushua already had the kingdom before he, before he becomes king, like in his kingdom. Then he's gonna get the kingdom back up to the Father and going back to the beginning, going back to the garden. But that's neither here nor there. But so yeah, not only that, but notice how it says kingdoms, but it says no, all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. But see, let's go back to Matthew chapter 12, because why? And we know 2 Ezra 6 and 9, and these kingdoms now these kingdoms are divided, and Yahushua's kingdom is now of division, because what did we just read? It's all one. So that's another reason why, if we like reading between the lines, I speak as a man on this. I just kind of caught that. This from my observation. I speak as a man. I could be wrong, but the kingdom he didn't want that, because it's of division, man. Because we see all this stuff, man. But at the end of the day, man, even Sirach says, Satan casts out Satan, he curses his own soul, and Satan kingdoms divide. So they all, because these wicked kingdoms, man, they talk about all bad about each other, but they all wicked pretty much, man. They talk bad about each other, some place in the world like grossly evil, it's like grossly evil. Some places are just evil, of course, what idolatry and which is actually the most, but things is that's actually grossly evil. But certain places are grossly evil, but all these things, all these places is pretty much evil, man. Let's get this back to Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. It says, if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall he then return? How shall then his kingdom stand? So yeah, let's grab that Sirach. Just like Sinners, man. The movie Sinners. Everybody in the movie was sinners, man. So it's just and they had the sinners calling, calling each other, or getting on. You had Satan messing with sinners, but they was all one and the same. There's all, but it is what it is, though. That's another video for another day, though. But Let's grab it real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 21, verse 27. When the ungodly curses Satan, he curses his own soul. So yeah, kind of like in that, man. But this is all going back to being one with the Most High Yahushua and the kingdoms, man. Like, and the inward, like, this is the most important kingdom, man. Also the one in Daniel. You know what? Luke chapter 17, verse 21. It says, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for the kingdom of Yahweh is within you, man. So yeah, exactly, man. So all that, yeah. But let's go to Daniel chapter 4. It's crazy because today's the 4th, but you know what? Shout out to brother Akawar for pointing this verse out, man. But because yeah, man, he dwelleth within kingdoms. Pretty much, he dwelleth is within the inward man, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. The matter is the decree of the watchers, by the holy, by the demand by the holy word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Yeah, in the kingdom of men, inwardly. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I know we're gonna go back to Luke. It says, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over the basis of men. So yeah, that's not even talking about the natural tip like a Sirach or earlier in Daniel when he raised up kings and take them down like physical, but spiritually, man. Like he that's why it says the gifts of the that's what it's talking about in Romans, when the gifts of the Most High Yahshua are without repentance, man. He give his spirit or the kingdom inward, the faith or in the kingdom, the spirit, his spirit to anybody that he pleases to, the gifts, the fruits to anybody he bears to, and not going to repent of it. That's what that's going into. But yeah, let's read this again. Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This is the matter of the decree of the watchers by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, give it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over the basis of men. So yeah, that's why I'm going back to Luke chapter 17 verse let's go let's get the let's grab the Luke chapter 19 verse Luke chapter 29 verse 27 19 verse 27. I'm sorry, but those are my enemies which would not have I should reign over them. Bring them hither and let's slay them before me. So yeah, man, it's like not even talking about like, of course, on the natural tip, but yeah, but inwardly, man, like that's why. Then that's why. And how is that you could be against like slain like now, like honestly, like like that Proverbs 21:16. The Most High. Let's grab this real quick, man, because because the Most High House, this is how he rules, man. That's why Sirach 23 goes into. I'm sorry to be long-winded with this, but that's how he goes into. That's why it says, "Be the ruler and governor over my life," and that's why. Let's grab this Sirach 20 real quick. Then we go back. We can get some. The God to your life. Necessary Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 20 verse 32. Necessary patience is seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a God. Yes, exactly. And let's get Sirach 23 real quick, man. It says, Yahweh, Father, governor of my whole life, lead me not to their counsels, let me not fall by them. Exactly. So yeah, he's pretty much saying, rule over me, like have you your spirit, like the word rule over me, like going back to some I was looking at yesterday, John 3:30. It and shout out to brother Akawar for saying this, man, because it's key. And just in life, have the Most High house shot increase, and and Omar I had to decrease, Omar I'm not talking third person, but I don't know why I just did that, but I had to decrease, man. I had to decrease. Even same for us brothers and sisters, man. Like the Most High house increases and alive their will, and we decrease, honestly. Now on the back end, if you're doing their will, man, he's gonna that's at Matthew 6:34, man. If you're doing his will and your things in your in your secular in your life, things that you want to do, he's gonna bless you with that. But you gotta do his will first and foremost, man. That's why we shared that definition of self-serving yesterday. That's why we made that post, man. And honestly, man, I really want, because when I say we on here, man, like even though it's like me on the channel here, but no, man, it's we. That's going back to being one, man. Because listen, man, it's like it's all of us, man. It's like, choose. This is bigger than me, honestly. This whole like the Most High House has where it was here way eons before me. I wasn't even thought. Like, it's here while I'm here. It's gonna be here till I'm going, man. Because He lived forever, man. So and naturally, we don't. I don't. But that's what I'm trying to do. Like, that's a plan for. I'm pretty sure also for y'all brothers and sisters as well, man. But let's grab 2nd Esdras chapter 7 verse 21. Because yeah, this is the guide and rule over our life, man. There's other places we can go, but let's just grab this. It says, "For Yahweh have given straight commands, such as them that they should do to live, and even they that came, what they should observe to avoid punishment." Yeah, so what we should do and what we shouldn't do, man. That's is what it is. That's Him being ruling over us, God, like being the guide to our life, man. Him ruling over us, honestly, man. It's just like and like that's why like that Proverbs 25 says, "He that can't control his spirits, like is that he that can't rule his own spirits, like him, like is like a city broken down with with no walls." And what's that city, right? What's that city, right? It's what's the city that should be ruling over us, be within us, right? It's New Jerusalem, that kingdom within. Going back to that as well. That's what it is. That's what it should be, because that's why when that happens, like moments of not having self-control, like you learn another you learn like any of these worldly cities, like something like rule over you, but not New Jerusalem rule over you. That makes sense, man. But anyway, man, hopefully it's edifying, man. This all goes back to being one, but my bad for this being long-winded. But anyway, peace.